Imagine starting Elder Scrolls 6. The Empire and Aldmeri Dominion are deep into their second war, but suddenly in the middle of battle, a giant portal appears, and an army of Centurons march onto the battlefield with new technology flying above them in the form of sky battleships. They return, but with vengeance against Nirn and the ones responsible for their disappearance. That's what I want to see in Elder Scrolls 6, and that's why today we're going to be discussing the Dwemer and their possible revenge and invasion of Nirn. I've discussed the Dwemer in the past, but today we're actually going to be going through a little bit more in depth of what to expect. So let's get down to it. We're going to start with what the Dwemer are. The Dwemer were an advanced race and civilization in many respects far ahead of the other races and civilizations of their time. They are well known for their skill in revolutionary developments in technology, engineering, crafting methods, metalwork, stonework, architecture, city planning, science, mathematics, magic, and the academic arts. But they are also known because of their mysterious disappearance in the First Era after the Battle of Red Mountain. The most accepted theory about their disappearance at the Battle of Red Mountain is that they tried using the powers of the Heart of the Missing God Lorkhan. A powerful wizard and enchanter, Kagrenak, tried utilizing the heart into bringing his race into immortality. How this was done was the brass god Numidium was created by using the souls of the Dwemer and the manipulation of the heart of Lorkhan. We don't know if this was on purpose or not, but the events that followed was the destruction of the Numidium, and then it was recreated, and eventually the last we heard was that Numidium was lost in time. This theory is actually backed by Michael Kirkbride, who is one of the original writers of the Elder Scrolls Morrowind, Elder Scrolls Adventures Redguard, and he also wrote some of the material in Elder Scrolls Oblivion, but many doubt his knowledge of Bethesda Game Studios' plans moving forward. But this begs the question, a society so advanced, how could they just disappear mysteriously unless this was on purpose? And that's why I personally believe the Dwemer are not gone. They are in a different realm of existence, and in the next Elder Scrolls game, we will be finding about what happened to them and what they have been doing since. But I feel like we should back this up with some of the proof that has come from the past Elder Scrolls games. So we're going to go back all the way to Morrowind, where we meet the last living Dwemer, and that is Yagrum Bagarn.
A visitor? What brings you to visit Yagrum Bagarn, Master Crafter and last living dwarf?
Unfortunately, Yagrum Bagarn has caught Corpus, which has made his appearance deformed and his body has bloated, in which he has to use Centuron spider legs to move. The reason Bagarn didn't disappear was because he was in an undescribed outer realm at the time and was not affected by the events of the Battle of Red Mountain. Bagarn has spent his life studying and researching what has happened to his race, but unfortunately he hasn't found any answers. Bagarn concludes Lord Kagrenak, the foremost arcane philosopher and magecrafter of my era, devised tools to shape mythopoeic forces intending to transcend the limits of Dwemer mortality. However, in reviewing his formula, some logicians argued that side effects were unpredictable and errors might be catastrophic. I think Kagrenak might have succeeded in granting our race eternal life with unforeseen consequences, such as wholesale displacement to an outer realm, or maybe he has erred and utterly destroyed our race. Bagarn also does state that Kagrenak carefully planned all his projects in advance, which is why he owned a plan book, and as he knew this because he worked under him as a master crafter. But moving on to Skyrim, during a section of dialogue, Falion, the Redguard mage and court wizard of Morthal, claims to have met with Dwemer in the Plains of Oblivion, but it is also implied that Falion probably is just lying. But there's also a quest where Arniel Gain, a Breton mage and senior member of the College of Winterhold, recreates the disappearance of the dwarves, in which he uses a warp soul gem to take the place of the Heart of Lorkhan. He uses keening, one of the three tools used to access the heart, and Dwemer cogs and convectors. He eventually disappears and is not known if he succeeds, but his shade does appear, unlike the Dwemer who were completely gone. That's why I feel through all the quests in the ruins and teases from past titles, Bethesda has to set up for a huge return. This is why I think the Dwemer could possibly be the main protagonist or antagonist of the Elder Scrolls 6. If there is a Great War II between the Empire and Thalmor, they could take a side, or they could come mid-war and try to get revenge by taking over Nirn. This possibly could go with the setting of Valenwood, because if they are trying to take over Nirn, the biggest political factions will be battling it out there. The best way to make a return is by sending a message to all of Nirn, and even to the gods. This will allow us to see if the Dwemer are striving or struggling as a race. This now goes back to the beginning of this video, in which hopefully we see advancements in technology. like skyships, new weapons, and automatons. The possibilities are endless. But the last question I will leave with you guys is, do you want to see the Dwemer return in the next Elder Scrolls game, and why? I personally do, just because of the fact that I feel like they could add so much to the narrative of the next game, but that's just my thoughts. Make sure you guys get down in the comments, let's get interactive. Make sure you smack the like button if you did enjoy the video, and make sure to subscribe. A lot more Elder Scrolls 6 content to come. Make sure you guys check out the past videos, and I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.